Hello, good day everybody. I hope that you're all doing well. So today, me and my group will report about the journey towards basic education curricular reforms from 1946 to 2011. But before that, let us introduce ourselves first. So I am Anjali Ibanez Maglasang.
My name is Rizaki Hinatagkan.
And I am Shireen Monleon.
Okay, so let me begin with the years 1946 to 1956. During this time, the Philippines had just become independent. So, the government focused on building our identity as Filipinos. Schools started teaching the national language, and the elementary years were shortened from 7 years to 6 years. So, more children could go to school earlier. For example, instead of waiting many years, a child could now enter grade 1 sooner. There were also important laws passed. So, daghan daw nga kanang batas ang gipasa. So, example is the Commonwealth Act 586, improved the public elementary school system. And the other one is the Commonwealth Act 589, required schools to have patriotic ceremonies like singing the national anthem and reciting a pledge. So imagine your Monday flag ceremony. That's the idea. Next is Republic Act 896, created a national policy for elementary education. During this time, the government also listed the fundamental objectives of education. These included developing moral and spiritual values, being patriotic, learning to work hard, helping the community, and promoting peace. There was a focus on respecting others and loving the country. Now, let's talk about the objectives of elementary education. So, elementary schools was designed to prepare children to be good citizens. That meant teaching basic knowledge and skills like reading, writing, and math. But it also included forming good attitudes like cooperation, honesty, and respect. For example, when teachers teach children to line up properly, follow rules, and help classmates, that's part of preparing them for citizenship. Now, for the objectives of secondary education, high school continued what elementary started. High school allowed students to discover their talents and interests. For example, some students enjoy science and others TLE, arts, or sports. The curriculum tried to offer classes that fit their abilities. This is also where students learn leadership and prepare for work or further studies. As the years passed, many reforms were introduced. From 1957 to 1972, high school followed the 2-2 plan. 2 years of general subjects and 2 years of specialization, like vocational or college preparatory. From 1973 to 1988, the curriculum was revised to offer more elective subjects, allowing students to explore new interests. In 1983, the new elementary school curriculum was created to strengthen reading, math, and values. In 1989, high school implemented the new secondary education curriculum, which promoted balanced learning. Then, in 2002, the Basic Education Curriculum, or BEC, was introduced. The goal was to lessen subject overload and focus on essential skills. For example, instead of too many topics, teachers concentrated on helping students master the basics. The biggest change in 2012 to 2013 with the start of K-12 program, kindergarten became mandatory through the Kindergarten Education Act, and grade 1 and grade 7 of K-12 were implemented. This aimed to make students more prepared for work, college, or livelihood after graduation. For example, senior high school now allows students to choose tracks like STEM, HUMS, ABM, or TVL depending on their future goals. And as I guess if ever they are undecided. To summarize, the journey of curricular reforms from 1946 to 2011 shows how the Philippine education system continuously improved to meet the needs of learners. Each period had changes that aimed to make education more meaningful, practical, and responsive to society. Thank you, and that ends my report. I will now give you to the next reporter.
So, let's proceed to elementary education in 1957 to 1988. From 1957 to 1958, revised elementary curriculum. It uses vernacular and English as auxiliary media from grades 1 to 2. The time allotment each subject. The language arts is not 110 to 120 minutes per day, while the others is only 40 to 50 minutes per day. On 1970 to 1971, Continuous Progression Scheme or CPS, the students moved up grades even if not fully ready, even dili pa sila kabalong mo read. Some parents enrolled children in summer tutorials to catch up. So, let's proceed to secondary education. On 1958, character education and good manners and right conduct, 40 minutes per week taught in English. In 1957 to 1972, two plan curriculum, the students will decide if they will proceed to college, while the other students focuses on vocational tracks. Subjects with unit allocations, there is a English, Filipino, Math, Science, health, and work experience. But there is a disadvantage of vocational tracks if the school is lack of resources and teachers. 73 is a revised secondary education program or as RSAP. It is replaced by 2-2 plan, focused on basic job skills, exploratory or elective courses. It has 40 minutes per subject. So 1974, bilingual education policy, the science, math, and English, kaya pwede na ta mag-use of local languages nato wala teach ta sa mga students. So let's proceed to teacher education in 1970. Revised teacher education curriculum. Aligned with national needs, improve institutional cooperation, recruit top 50% graduates, and emphasize ethics, professionalism, and quality instruction. That will be all. Thank you.
Research showed the expanded elementary education, the EEEP, could outperform the 1970 revised education program if it is improved, and the studies confirmed that elementary education needed major improvement. Findings guided the creation of the 1983 New Elementary School Curriculum, or the NESC. Next is the PROCEED and PRODED. PROCEED stands for the Program for Comprehensive Elementary Education. It is a 10-year development plan from 1980 to 1990 to strengthen elementary education. PRODED, it is a program for decentralized educational development, and it serves as a four years of PROCEED. And the World Bank assisted improvement effort. It aimed to upgrade the educational equality, raise the participation and survival rates, and reduce regional disparities in resources. Next is the implementation of the new elementary school curriculum. It is implemented gradually from grade 1 to grade 6. So we have already included standardized daily time allotments per subject area. So there are subjects na. And then, to the overview of 2002 to 2011, it is basic education curriculum implemented in 2002 to 2003. And this basic education curriculum, or the BEC, is replaced with NESC, or the NSEC, the new elementary school curriculum and the new secondary education curriculum. It is recommended by the Philippine Commission on Educational Reform, or the PCER. Next is the features of 2000 BEC. It is the introduction of Makabayan as a learning area. So, nanadiri ang ato ang Makabayan nga, or the 8P na subject, and also that it includes the values of education, the physical education, health, then music, and also the Araling Panipunan and the TLE, or the Technology and Home Economics, wherein it focuses on the life skills development, the values formation and analysis, and the multiple intelligences. Next is the instructional strategies. So what are the instructional strategies used in 2000 BEC? It emphasizes on the interactive learning, collaborative teaching and learning. There is an interaction between the teacher and the student, and the use of multimedia and technology is also integrated in this time, and computer literacy when available. So of course, if you are in a remote area, there is no need to use computer, and you'll just use visual aids. But you are in technology, wherein technology is very rampant, then you can use any computer to make the learning interactive. Next is the 2010 Secondary Education Curriculum, or the NSEC. It is implemented in first year only, from school year 2010 to 2011. It is based on understanding by design. So the stage 1 is the desired result, stage 2 are in the assessment and the learning plan. Next is the 2012 and 2013 major changes. So what are the changes in this time frame? So of course, na-arrive na ang universal kindergarten. According to Republic Act 10157, in kindergarten became mandatory for grade 1 and 3. So before mo mag-grade 1 ang bata, dapat mag-eskwela siya o kindergarten. Kaya if ever nga wala siya nag-eskwela o kindergarten, din mo-eskwela siya grade 1, matik, dili siya madawat. So, in DepEd Order number 21, series of 2012, set the guidance of this one. And it is a year, or the time frame that's K to 12 started. It is implemented in grade 1 and grade 7. And also, it is the preparation of teaching guides and instructional materials ongoing. So, next one is the alignment with national agenda. It is part of President Aquino's 10-point education agenda that includes 12-year basic education cycle. So that is why we have your K-12 from grade 1 to grade 12. And the universal preschool, we're in the kindergarten, the mandatory kindergarten before entering the grade 1. So, and also we have here the technology and vocational in senior high school, integrating so that if ever na dili mo eskwela o kanang college, ang mga senior high school students, they can proceed to any vocational courses. And also the reading proficiency by grade 1. So, of course, dili makamove o grade 2 sa kabata once na dili siya kahibaw mo read or no read and no write, or the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. And of course, it improved the math and science, and also the multilingual education. So we all know that education is very important, and progress is very essential also, so that we can have an interactive learning environment. And that ends my part. This is Monlin Shireen.
Good day everyone, I'm Jeline Sinubuhan, and I will introduce the NSAC, or the New Secondary Education. So, NSAC as a major reform in the Philippine secondary education. It was developed to improve the quality of a high school education and align it with the new elementary school curriculum or NASC. This reform was carefully planned from 1982, aiming to prepare students for a smooth transition from elementary to high school. Background and implementation. The NSAC was conceptualized in 1982 as a response to the updated elementary curriculum or NASC. The first full beneficiaries of NASC was graduated in March 1989 and became the first NSAC students. Before nationwide implementation, the curriculum underwent a Marco tryout from 1985 to 1989, using a pre-test and post-test two-group design and measure effectiveness. After this testing, the NSAC was rolled out gradually nationwide, starting with the first year in school year 1989 to 1990 and continuing 1 year level at a time until school year 1992 to 1993, allowing schools and teachers to adapt smoothly. Next is evaluation and impact. The NSAC success was carefully monitored through achievement tests conducted during implementation to evaluate students' learning outcomes. A full evaluation in February 1994 assessed overall students' performance after full implementation. This evaluation was a major part of the Secondary Education Development Program or SADP and helped ensure that the curriculum met its objectives, improved secondary education quality, and informed further policy decisions. Elementary education reform in 1983-2001. The need for reform in elementary education became clear after the survey of outcomes in elementary education, or SouthCell, revealed that the average 6th grader had mastered only 50% of expected learning, mainly limited to the RS, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic. That highlighted the urgency to improve basic education quality across the country. Experimental Elementary Education Program, or AAAP. To address South's findings, the Experimental Elementary Education Program, or AAAP, was launched in 1978 by the Bureau of Elementary Education. It involved 1,500 classes across to 125 school divisions. The program reduced the numbers of subjects in grades 1 to 3 and allots more time to develop basic skills, or the 3 R's, and communication skills. This experiment aimed to test the viability of a focused curriculum for improving students' learning outcomes. So that's all for my topic. Thank you.